Good morning. Welcome to another One Mind meditation. We are back live. It is great being in this space again. Our teacher for this week is Rumi. And today's message from Rumi is, you were born with wings, so why crawl when you can fly? So if you're ready, let's get into today's message. Have you ever felt a flicker of something extraordinary in you? A tiny spark waiting to ignite? Perhaps it's a dream you haven't dared to chase, a talent yearning to be explored, or a deep well of potential untapped. The 13th century poet Rumi captures this beautifully. Maggie, a very good morning. Charlene, good morning. It's so good to see you guys again. Hello. The first thought from Rumi is this: there is a candle in your heart ready to be kindled. There is a void in your soul ready to be filled. You feel it, don't you? Says Rumi. Hey Sunmarie, good morning. Good to see you. Hello. You feel it, don't you? Says Rumi. But sometimes fear, self-doubt, and negativity can dim that inner light and clip our metaphorical wings. Rumi reminds us, you were born with potential. You were born with goodness and trust. You were born with ideals and dreams. You were born with greatness. You were born with wings. You were not meant for crawling, so don't. You have wings, learn to use them and fly. Michelle, a very good morning. It is good seeing you. Hello. Anthony, good morning. Good to see you, dude. So how do we fan the flames of our potential and take flight? Today's message offers these 3 points. The first one is recognize the voice of the inner critic. The first step is acknowledging the forces that stifle our growth. Often the biggest obstacle is ourselves. We become our own worst critics, dwelling on past mistakes and engaging in negative self-talk. Remember, the voice inside you that judges and belittles you is not your true self. It's an old recording, a voice fueled by fear, not by wisdom. Then, the second point is embrace mistakes. Use them as stepping stones. We all make mistakes. Inevitably, we might even repeat the same ones. But dwelling on them or using them as weapons of self-punishment only holds us back. Mistakes are lessons, opportunities to learn and grow. Treat yourself with the same compassion that you'd offer a friend in a similar situation. And then the third point in today's message is speak in the voice of wisdom. Speak to yourself as the counterbalance to the voice of the inner critic. Speak to yourself in wisdom. Rumi offers a powerful tool for navigating this kind of communication. He says, before you speak, let your words pass through 3 gates. At the first gate, ask yourself, is this true? At the second gate, ask, is this necessary? And at the third gate, ask, is this kind? And only if your words can pass through all 3 gates, let them be uttered. This wisdom applies not just to how we interact with others, but also to our internal dialogue. Choose words of encouragement and support when you speak to yourself. Foster a sense of self-compassion, even when you stumble. In fact, speak to yourself with kindness, especially when your worst self shows up. You'll find it fuels your fire and empowers you to soar. The last thought is not by Rumi. It's by a person called David Gemmell. He says, do not speak badly of yourself, for the warrior within hears your words and is lessened by them. Do not speak badly of yourself, because you, the warrior in you, hears you speaking badly of yourself and becomes lessened, becomes weakened by those same words. Today's meditation is one we haven't done for a while. It's called You Are Limitless. It is a reminder that you have wings. wings, and you don't need to crawl, you can fly. If you're ready, you can close your eyes and we'll slip away together, starting with the first few big breaths. Let's take a deep breath in and out. A deep breath in and out. A deep inhale. And let it go. Deep breath in and out. One more big breath in and let it flow away. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose gets drawn all the way deep down into your belly. And as you fill up your belly with air, also raise yourself up. As you breathe in, stretch out your spine, lift the top of your head toward the ceiling. And once you've reached your full height, let all of it go. With every exhale, soften. As you breathe out, soften your spine, slump down your shoulders, and even drop your head. You are invited to take a stroll with us through a garden. This could be the garden right out your front door. It could be the most beautiful garden you've ever seen. It could also just be a garden from your imagination. A beautiful fantasy garden. In this garden, you are asked to pick your favorite flower. Pick your favorite flower and find a seat in this garden. Sit down, take in the sights and sounds and smells of this garden. In today's journey, we're taking a close look at this flower you've picked. And the invitation here is to be curious, to be playful, and have fun with the experience. Lean into visualizing this flower. Now, the truth is, we don't always see a clear image when we try to visualize. But try anyway. Ask the child in you to come along and play. When you lean into visualization, your brain waves come down lower. You could think of this as being very similar to when you go to bed in a higher brainwave state, fall asleep in a lower brainwave state, and then perhaps dream in an even lower brainwave state. When you dream, your brain is visualizing. But even when you visualize fully awake, your brain waves come down lower to that same dreamlike brainwave state. Why does this hold benefit? When your brain waves come down lower, your subconscious is more open to you. And the message sinks in deeper. So lean in to today's visualization. We'll take the last few big breaths of this phase together, slipping out of the breath holding space and into the next. Take a deep breath in. Sorry, let me just correct myself. We're helping our bodies stretch, adjust, and settle down to find comfort for the rest of our journey. Take a deep breath in. As you release, drop your head all the way forward and roll out your neck muscles forward and to the left, forward and to the right. Take a deep breath in. As you release, roll your shoulders forward in big, slow circles. Take a deep breath in. As you release, roll your shoulders backwards in big circles, nice and slow. Take a deep breath in. As you release, focus on your spine. See if you are able to tilt your head to the left while tilting your hips to the right, curving your spine into an S from your head down to your tailbone. And then see if you can change sides. Tilt your head to the right and your hips to the left. Change sides again. And change sides one more time. One more big breath in. And as you release, you can stretch or move or adjust any part of your body that still needs a bit of help settling down. Having softened our bodies into a state of presence, or at least becoming as present as we possibly can be, we can now turn our attention inwards and dive deep inside for the next part of our journey. With every next inhale, we'll hold our breath for a few short moments, followed by a really long, really slow exhale. If you don't have the time to sit for the whole meditation with us, then this is always a good place to stop. But if you are here for the whole journey, we'll take the next few big breaths together. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, make it a really long, really slow exhale. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, feel into your body. Feel how softness slips into your body and settles in every part of your body. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, follow the downwards flow through your body. Feel your shoulders slowly falling. Feel your body slowly softening. And feel how you are slowly slipping deeper into you. One more big breath in and hold. And as you release, feel yourself melting. Feel your whole body dissolving. Feel how you are slipping into a deeper level of surrender with every slow exhale. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose is an invitation. It invites you to turn inwards and follow this journey. As you breathe in, feel the air flow in through your nostrils. Feel the air touch the back of your throat. Stay with your breath as it flows in through your lungs. And as you fill up the balloon inside your belly, feel yourself slip all the way in. Hold your breath, but hold it only for as long as it feels easy, followed by a really long, really slow exhale. With your next big breath, as you dive deep into you, I want to remind you of the flower that you picked a little while ago. Bring that imaginary flower, hold it by its stem in your hand. Take a good look at this flower as you take your next big breath. Holding this flower by its green stem, I want you to take a really good look at the stem. What does the stem of this flower look like? Some flowers have a very thick but hollow stem. Others have a slightly hairy stem. Some flowers have a sturdy, almost woody stem. Some are smooth and some are grooved. What does the stem look like and feel like on this flower that you have picked? Take your next big breath. Now follow this stem upwards towards the base of the flower. And notice how this stem turns into this little green bowl that holds the base of the flower together. It almost looks like two cupped hands with green fingers holding the base of the flower together. Study for a moment this perfection. Take your next big breath. Now, looking at the bottom side of this flower, out of this green bowl, you see the underside of the petals emerging. Study this perfection. Look at the texture of the underside of the petals. And notice the color. Take your next big breath. Now turn the flower over, looking at the face of the petals of this flower. Trace around the edges of the petals. And from one species of flower to the next, what the edges of the petals look like can be quite remarkably different, from perfectly smooth to beautifully uneven. What do the edges of the petals look like on this flower that you've picked? Take your next big breath. Look at the surface of the petals themselves. How is the texture on the front-facing part of the petal different from the texture at the back? How is the color on the front different than the color on the back? Take your next big breath. Now draw your attention to the middle, the center of this flower. The part where all the reproductive organs are housed. And again, from one species to the next, this could be quite different. From a spongy yellow center to a trumpet-shaped center descending into the depths of the flower. And as you study the middle of this flower, take a moment to marvel at the perfection of how this is put together to attract insects and serves both the flower and the insect. Isn't that just pure perfection? Take your next big breath. We'll take the last few big breaths of this phase together, slipping out of the breath holding space and into the next. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, make it a really long, really slow exhale. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, feel how softness slips in and settles in every cell of your body. One more big breath in and hold. And as you release, feel yourself slip all the way through. If there is no more attention on your breathing, you can sit all the way back or even lie all the way back down and feel yourself just floating. This journey with the flower today is a reminder of how easily we stand in awe at the perfection of something that Mother Nature produced, this beautiful flower. It's easy to recognize the perfection. It's easy to speak words of awe when we take a close look at this amazing flower. And even if someone were to point out the imperfections in this flower, because there always are, there's always at least one spot where the cells did not divide perfectly, and if you look closely you can see it. But even when that is pointed out to us, it's easy for any of us to say yes, but it's perfect in its imperfection. This is exactly how it's meant to be. The reminder here is to use the same lens to look at you. To not take off that lens and put on a more judgmental, more critical lens when you look at you. Could you look at yourself the same way? And I know it's sometimes hard because we are so intimately familiar with our shortcomings. But you were never meant to be perfect. You're only meant to be perfect in your imperfection, just like the flower. And not to make too many comparisons, because comparison really is the thief of joy. But the truth is, for this flower, as amazing as it is, it only has this one expression. In this way, it is severely limited, whereas you are not. The ways in which you can express yourself have already been so much more than this flower. And there are ways in which you can create that you have not even discovered yet. Shouldn't you be able to stand in awe of the human you are? I'll read to you one more time today's message from Rumi. Rumi says, "There is a candle in your heart ready to be kindled. There is a void in your soul ready to be filled. You feel it, don't you?" Rumi says, "You were born with potential. You were born with goodness and trust. You were born with ideals and dreams. You were born with greatness. You were born with wings. You are not meant for crawling, so don't. You have wings. Learn to use them and fly." Can you see the picture? Can you see that image? You were born with wings. You don't need to crawl. You can spread your wings and fly. How do we work on our wings every day? How do we pay attention to give power to our wings every day? In its simplest form, this comes down to how you choose to speak to yourself. Rumi's advice is, before you speak, let your words pass through 3 gates. At the first gate, ask yourself, is this true? Before these words come out of my mouth, is it true? At the second gate, ask, is it necessary? Before these words come out of my mouth, is it necessary for them to be spoken? And at the third gate, ask, is it kind? Because even if it's true and necessary, and sometimes this is not easy, it still has to pass the third gate. Is it kind? And if it's not kind, well, rethink those words. find a way to say them kindly. This wisdom applies not just to how we interact with others, but also to our internal dialogue. If you want to give power to your wings, choose words of encouragement and support when speaking to yourself every day. Foster a sense of self-compassion even when you stumble and fall. In fact, speak to yourself with kindness, especially when your worst self shows up. You'll find that it fuels your fire and empowers you to soar. One more thought by David Gemmell on how to speak to yourself. He says, do not speak badly of yourself, for the warrior within hears your words and is weakened by them. You have wings. You are not meant to crawl. Spread your wings and fly. And use your conversation with yourself every day to give power to those wings. We have the last 5 breaths of gratitude to do together. With every exhale, I'll say my thank you, and I invite you to say yours. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for this reminder. The reminder that there are ways in which you can create that you have not even discovered yet. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for learning how to give power to my wings, how to speak strength into my wings. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for learning how to look at myself through the same lens that I'm able to look at a flower, in awe of the perfection of this creation. And not completely disappointed in every imperfection. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for the reminder that I have wings, that I don't have to crawl, that I can speak power to my wings, spread them and fly. One more big breath in. Thank you, beautiful people. Thank you for learning how to speak power to your wings. Nella, a very good morning. It's great seeing you. Hello. Philip, good morning. Happy that you could pop in with us. I hope you had some time to sit down with us as well. Thank you, Charlene. Thank you, Maggie. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you, Sunmarie. Wishing you all a really beautiful day. Happy to be live here with you again. See you soon. Ciao, ciao. As soon as Facebook lets me out. There we go.